This presentation on sustainable agriculture using center pivot irrigation and drones for checking and maintaining nitrogen levels in rice fields is brought to you by Candace Kovacs for a class assignment in environmental management at American Public University on 3/20/2021. In this slide presentation, you will learn about who the potential stakeholder groups could be and why, the vision statement and the overarching goals and objectives for introducing the use of unmanned aerial vehicles, UAV, with center pivot irrigation systems. The last slide will provide the references which were used for this presentation. Currently, rice is a staple food for about half the world's population. Center pivot irrigation with the use of a UAV allows for much more accurate field and crop readings than ever before. Interested stakeholders for this use of technology has a big range. To get started, the fertilizer companies that distribute and make nitrogen, N, for agriculture use would benefit, and the retailers that they sell to. Those retailers would be gaining more business from farmers and ranchers through the need of nitrogen that can be put not only in center pivot irrigation systems, but in the drones themselves. Center pivot irrigation and UAV-based technology is not a cheap addition. Thus, farmers and ranchers will need to gain credit in order to get started. This will create a need for agriculture credit institutes to be potential stakeholders. Finally, the need to have a crop consultant or advisor to come out is greatly needed in order to determine the best area, right amount of irrigation systems, in order to harness the knowledge of the cost they will need to be requested from the bank to get started. The vision is to deliver an innovation way for using agricultural drone technology in order to produce higher rice yields. Our long-term commitment to this mission will have us a market leader and help improve the quality of crops for the world's growing population. The first objective is to create a higher crop yield through higher crop cultivation. Center pivot irrigation in farming uses an overhead sprinkler system to create a uniform application of water and fertilizer to crops. The farmer or rancher can now use this system to ensure proper applications and creates less labor since it can be set to a specific time and schedule of rotation. Center pivot irrigation in farming reduces the water evaporation and drift from the wind. Using this technology creates more thirsty crops, the ability to farm more land, and the ability to grow a higher number of crops. It is not limited to the use of just water, but can also distribute other useful things such as nitrogen fertilizer. Nitrogen accounts for 60% of the consumed fertilizer and is needed for a higher crop yield. The use of UAV-based technology is a way to monitor nitrogen levels more quickly and more accurately. Nitrogen levels in rice is also very important for crop yield. Fertilizing the entire field effectively is of utmost importance. The second goal of proper nitrogen levels coincides with the first goal due to its necessity for a high crop yield. Some important factors that rice needs in order to produce a good yield is the proper amount of water and fertilizer, and in this case, nitrogen. The use of center pivot irrigation allows for a better even distribution of both. The use of drones in sustainable agriculture is on the rise and for a good reason. Rice grain yield and leaf area index, LAI, is predictable with drones, which can also produce or provide precision nitrogen management. UAV devices account for cloud cover and time limitations and can diagnose rice nitrogen nutrient levels. The Frontiers in Plant Science stated, UAV-based active sensing is expected to offer flexibility, affordability, and applicability for large-scale monitoring compared to handheld active sensing. The ability to assess each plant or row of a rice crop allows a farmer to survey any area needing attention and adjust for any situation required to maintain a high rice yield in a field. These are the references used for this presentation. Thank you for listening.